My mom sits in the dark, bathed in the blue light of her phone, scrolling past dinner, past bedtime. Last week, my sister texted me in a panic because my mom started accusing my dad of secretly voting for a political candidate she despises. We are witnessing a surge in what political scientists call affective polarization. This is a mindset where voters divide themselves based on raw emotion and tribal loyalty, rather than actual disagreements over policy. When party affiliation becomes a strict litmus test for whether you can even tolerate someone in your own family, a society begins to fracture. Across the globe, this specific kind of deeply emotional division is actively driving democratic backsliding, breaking down the norms that keep government stable. We carry devices in our pockets that link us to billions of people instantly. We live in the most technologically connected era in human history, yet our communities and households are pulling apart. To figure out why our ultimate digital network is failing us, we have to look backward. We need to examine how ancient civilizations on this very continent successfully bound millions of people together for millennia. Long before European contact, the Americas were home to sprawling, highly complex empires. Without the benefit of instantaneous communication, these societies relied entirely on massive physical networks to survive and govern. High in the Andes, the Inca engineered a 40,000-kilometer road system. By cutting paths through incredibly steep vertical terrain, they successfully connected up to 14 million people across their territory. Further north, indigenous trade networks achieved a massive reach. The Mississippian culture expanded its influence all the way to the Great Lakes and the Gulf of Mexico, entering their society with monumental earthworks like Monk's Mound, which required millions of hours of physical labor to build. In Mesoamerica, urban complexes like Teotihuacan operated as cosmopolitan hubs of commerce. These dense, architecturally ambitious cities housed highly diverse ethnicities, all living and trading in deep physical proximity. These ancient roads and massive plazas served a specific purpose. They were engineered out of existential necessity, designed to deliberately unify disparate populations and ensure the survival of the empire. With the closing of physical frontiers, the United States and other modern superpowers began projecting their influence through vast political and diplomatic infrastructures. In 1866, the successful deployment of the transatlantic telegraph cable allowed diplomats to communicate across oceans in minutes. This heavy industrial effort enabled the first real leap in instantaneous global alliance building. Through the brutal conflicts of the 20th century, world leaders raced to draft treaties and forge alliances. They had to sit down in the same room to negotiate the geopolitical terms required to survive 2 world wars. This urgency led to the establishment of enormous bureaucratic institutions like the United Nations, an organization formed to coordinate international law, and NATO, a military alliance for collective defense. They also created the Bretton Woods system, a set of rules that tied global currencies to the US dollar to stabilize the world economy. These international treaties and global organizations functioned exactly like the stone roads of the Inca. They were deliberate diplomatic bridges, painstakingly engineered to prevent the collapse of civilization. When the modern internet and social media first emerged, they were hailed as the ultimate democratizing tools. The promise was that these platforms would enhance political organizing and bring humanity closer together. This diagram shows the basic user feedback loop that controls what you see online. The algorithm measures your clicks and instantly feeds similar content back to your screen. It is mathematically engineered to prioritize your constant engagement over any sense of societal cohesion. The psychology driving this loop is highly destructive. Engagement metrics peak when a piece of content reinforces your specific in-group identity by viciously attacking outgroups. The system quickly learns that outrage keeps your eyes on the screen. This creates an echo chamber. An echo chamber is a closed environment where users are only exposed to information that validates their existing beliefs. To keep you scrolling, the algorithm creates a digital space that actively severs your connections to anyone who thinks differently. Ancient stone roads and diplomatic treaties required immense effort to build and were designed to bridge gaps between diverse populations. Our ultimate digital network operates on the exact opposite logic. It is mathematically incentivized to burn bridges. This mathematical division does not stay contained within our phones. In the 2018 Brazilian elections, we saw exactly how this digital fracture causes acute, real-world political violence. Coordinated disinformation campaigns spread rapidly on platforms like WhatsApp. This created hyper-polarized echo chambers that fueled widespread social unrest and directly supported the campaign of far-right candidate Jair Bolsonaro. 3 years later, the exact same algorithmic mechanism mobilized thousands of people in the United States, culminating in the January 6th Capitol riots. Operating within massive echo chambers, rioters actively coordinated their tactics and weapons on far-right social platforms. They were aided directly by incendiary posts from political leaders who utilized those same isolated networks to fan the flames. Modern democratic backsliding is driven by the silent logic of an algorithm. Preserving the common ground our ancestors spent millennia building now requires deep structural changes to this digital infrastructure, or simply having the courage to log off.